Welcome back, guys. It's Colin with the Sunpirates TCG, joined today by my co-host Mohammed.
How's it going, everybody?
And today we are doing a tutorial / demo on how to play the new Gundam Card Game.
Indeed, we were very fortunate. We were able to get a couple of beta kits while we were at Card Fest Orlando. We fortunately got into the last minute event, and we just wanted to show you guys how the game is played.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. So starting off, you'll have your deck shuffled up. You'll have your 10 resource cards ready to go. This is just like your Dawn deck in One Piece. And then you will also have a couple of tokens ready. Both players will start with this called the EX base. This goes into your shield area. And then the player going second will have this EX resource.
And to start the game, normally first or second is decided like in all other Bandai games, either rock, paper, scissors, or a mutually decided thing. Just for the sake of this demonstration, I'll be playing second. Once you figure out who's going first or second, both of you will draw the top 5 cards of your deck into your hand, look at them, and if you like what you see, you can choose to keep, which is what I'll be doing. At that point, you take the top 6 cards of your deck and you place them into your shield area. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now, if you don't like your hand, you do get a one-time mulligan, just like One Piece and Digimon. So say, for example, I don't like this current hand. What you do instead of the other games is that you will take your original hand, put it to the bottom of your deck, and then redraw your 5. And then afterwards, you'll shuffle your deck.
And then place down your 6 shield cards. In this game, when you run out of shields, the game is not over. Your opponent has to hit you again. We'll explain a bit more about that when we get to some combat, though. So since Colin's the first player, he'll start off. Go ahead, friend.
Okay, so unlike some of the other games, you do draw when you go first. So I will draw for turn, and you will gain a resource. Okay, so let's go over the design of a card. So let's take this GM, for example, which I'll pop up on the screen. So as you can see, it is a level 2 that costs 1, meaning that for level 2, I will need to have 2 total resources on my field in order to cast this card. But when I actually cast it, it only costs 1 rested resource.
Yep.
Which in this case, it is my first turn. I'm at level 1, so cannot play that. And at this point, I will just say fast turn.
All right. In that case, I will draw 1 card, and I will draw 1 resource. And since I have the EX resource while it is in play, it counts as a card towards my level. So technically, I am at level 2. So I'm going to play my Zaku that is a level 2 that costs 1. So I'll just rest my regular resource, which lets me keep this. And to give a bit of insight into this, it's basically like an energy marker from Dragon Ball that you can use it. And then once you use it, it disappears from the game. I will not take any other actions this turn, so I'll just pass to you.
So draw. Gain my resource, and you do active all your cards at the beginning of your turn as well. Okay, so for being at level 2, I will pay 1 for the GM that I showed earlier. I will also play a command card. So this is Overflowing Affection. It says draw 2, pitch 1, level 2, and only costs 1. So that's what I'll pay.
Very nice.
Draw 2.
Once you use a command card, it goes immediately to your trash.
And I'll pass from there.
All right, so I'm going to draw. Notably, neither Colin nor myself attacked on our first turns. This is because everything in this game has what's known as Summoning Sickness. It cannot attack immediately. So with my current hand, I'm going to do a very similar play to Colin. I'm going to play my own Overflowing Affection. So I will draw 2 cards. 1, 2. And then I will discard a copy of First Contact. So I now have 2 commands in my yard. And I can attack, so I'll just demonstrate it here. I will attack Colin's shield area, since I cannot attack an active unit. You can only attack either rested units like this, which are rested by either blocking or attacking, or you can attack your opponent's shield area. So when you go into combat, you compare your unit's power with your opponent's shields, and shields always have 1 life, so normally this would force Colin to take a damage, but at the start of the game you saw we both put the EX base card into play, which has 3 health, and you must always damage a base before you damage a shield. Fortunately for me, my Zaku has on attack, he gets +2 attack points, so since he'll be a 3 attack, 2 health, I'll deal 3 damage to Colin's base and it will disappear.
Yep.
With that being said, I will take one more action. I'm going to put Guel Jatark, my pilot, onto the Zaku. Not very thematic, but it does give my Zaku +1/+1, meaning that when Colin attacks it with his GM, my unit will still survive. And then since Colin doesn't have 8 cards in hand, his other text is not applied, so I'll pass back.
And do notice that for pilots, sometimes units will indicate at the bottom whether or not it would be a linked unit, which is basically if you're trying to match the right character from the show to its mobile suit. Otherwise, this, as Mohammed said, this Guel Jatark is only giving the +1/+1 at the moment. Also, you cannot replace pilots, only one pilot per mobile suit at a time.
Correct. So currently these units are in a paired state, but they're not in a linked state.
So taking my turn, I'll draw my card, get my resource. Okay, let's show a base. So I'll be playing this Archangel at level 3 for only 1 cost. On deployment, it goes to my shield area, just like where the EX base used to be. And then all the bases at the moment do this thing where when you play them, you add the top card of your shields to your hand. And then I'll use my GM to attack into the EX base.
All right, so since my base has 3 health and Colin's GM has 2 power, I'll take 2 damage, so my base is left at 1 health.
And then I will pay my remaining 2 resources to play the level 3 gun cannon.
Ooh, very strong.
And I will end from there.
All right, so I will untap my resources and my units and draw 1 card. And I will get 1 resource. All right, I think I'm going to take this turn to do a little bit of setting up. Get a little bit ready. So I'm going to pay 3 of my resources to play the Wing Gundam Bird mode. When I play it, I generate another EX resource, and you can't have more than 1. So I'm at level 5. I don't really want to rest this since Colin can just take some profitable trades into it, and I don't kill his Archangel by doing so. So I'll just pass back.
Okay. So I'll active all my cards, draw, and gain my resource. Let's start by using my GM to attack, finish off that EX base.
All right, since it does the last 2 damage, my base will disappear.
And then next, I will have my gun cannon swing into shields.
All right. So when this happens, you take your top shield and you reveal it. It does not have a burst effect, so it will just go immediately to my trash.
Okay. And then lastly, let's pay 2 resources to play this Lodo. Pay 2 more resources to play out a Rizel.
Alrighty.
And I will pass from there.
I'm going to untap my resources. I have no guys to untap. I'll drop for turn. I will get my 4th resource. So now I'm at level 6. A big breakpoint for the green deck because it lets me play the Wing Gundam. So this is one of the legendary rares from the set. There are 3, 1 for each color. It has Breach 5, which means when it destroys an opposing unit in combat, it deals 5 damage to anything in Colin's shield area. So in this case, it will destroy his base. And it also says I can attack Colin's active level 4 or lower units. And now I will show you what a link unit is. I will use my coin, tapping it and removing it, and pair it to my Wing Gundam. So since Hero Yui is the pilot for the Wing Gundams, it means that not only does it get these bonus stats and this while linked instead of just while paired text, but it means that the Wing Gundam I just played can attack immediately. So I'm going to be going into combat, and I will swing my 7/7 Wing Gundam into Colin's Ryzeal.
Okay. So no responses there. So Rizel will perish. And then because Rizel has 4 power, it will deal 4 damage back to the Wing Gundam.
Right, so my Wing Gundam is at 3 health and 7 attack. And since it won a combat, I'll deal 5 damage to your Archangel.
Yep. Which will blow it up right away.
For my next trick, I will swing the Wing Gundam into the GM so that they both trade.
Yep, so 2-2 versus 2-2.
And then lastly, I will swing the Zaku into the gun cannon. Since on attack, my Zaku gets +2, I'll be dealing 4 damage, and Colin will only be dealing 2 damage back to me. So this will live with 1 on it.
Yep.
And then I don't really have any other actions I want to take this turn. So I am going to pass to Colin.
Ooh, okay, I got my work cut out for me here.
Yeah.
I will pay 1 resource and use this hybrid command / pilot card. So I'm going to use the pilot half of it. So notice how some cards are both a command and a pilot, which you can choose to play them as either half. So I'll choose the pilot half as Mumaflaga, putting it onto my Lodo just to give it that +1 power.
Very good, very good.
And then the Wing Gundam only has 3 health remaining, so I will declare swing with the Lodo at 3 power into your Wing Gundam.
All right, my Wing Gundam will deal 7 damage back to his Lodo, so they'll both be destroyed. And Breach is only when my unit's attack destroys it, so since I wasn't the one attacking, he won't take a shield again.
And then next, I'll pay 3 to play out my Perfect Strike Gundam. So it says, on deploy, choose 1 enemy unit with 1 HP and return to the hand. So Kazaka only has 1 HP remaining.
All right. And notably in this game, when you bounce something, you bounce both pieces, so both of these will return to my hand.
Whatever happens to the unit, the pilot goes with it. And I will pass from there.
Alrighty. I will untap my resources and draw 1, and then draw a resource, putting me up to 6 total resources in level 6. I currently have 3 commands in my yard. Start with first contact. So I'm going to pay 3 and then place a rested resource, which is going to level me up. But more importantly, it now puts my 4th command card into my yard, which means that I can now play the Gundam Aerial for -2 cost. So it is going to be a 1 mana 3/3 that I have in play now. I'm also going to pay these last 2 resources to play my Rickdom.
Ooh, nice.
I will pass back to you, Colin.
Okay. So we'll set everything back to active, off return, and I'll gain my 1 resource. Let's attack with the Perfect Strike Gundam into life.
All right. I'm going to flip over, and it is not a burst, so it will go to my yard.
And as you may have already figured out as we're playing this, but your main phase is a completely open, just like Digimon One Piece. You can attack, play things in whatever order you would like. So moving on, I'm going to pay 4 for my own shiny card. We'll play the Ale Strike Gundam.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep, so just like the Perfect Strike, this has blocker, which means that just like the other games, when you declare an attack, I can rest it to redirect the attack to this unit. And then I will pay 1 to link it with my Kira Yamato. So since it specifies Kira, as for those of you who have watched Gundam Seed, we will get our bonus abilities. So I am able to attack this turn with this unit, as well as Ale Strike Gundam having its own ability when paired with a level 4 or higher pilot. I get to return a 4 HP or lower unit to the hand. I'll choose your Rick Dom.
All right. Not Rick.
And then I will immediately attack into shields.
All right. I will flip over my shield, and it is another Rickdom, not a burst, so I'll go into my yard.
And I will pass from there.
All right. I will start by untapping my resources and then drawing 1 and drawing 1. Let's see what we could do. I'm going to start playing a little more defensively, so I'll tap 1 to play my Astacacia School of Technology, so I'll add my top shield to my hand. Alrighty. So Colin's Ale Strike is currently a 6/5. I think I have just the thing for that. So I'm going to tap another 1 resource.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to pair Chang Wu Fei with the Gundam Aerial to turn my Aerial into a 5/4. And I will swing into your Ale Strike.
Yep, so your guy has 5 power to my 5 health. I have no responses. So in this game, there is a sequence between combat. So there's the attack step, the block step, which I would have had the opportunity to block, but obviously my guys were rested, so I was not able to do that. And then the action step, where first the defender has a priority to cast an action, such as the Hawkeye Vendemian that I played earlier this game. And then the attacker has that same window after the defender. In this case, I have no actions.
And I also have no actions. Compare, and they'll trade. I'll follow that up by playing the Gundam Sandrock. Normally on play, I could play unit, but I don't have a copy in my hand, unfortunately. And I'll also play back down my Rick, and I will pass to Colin.
Active all my resources, draw, and gain the energy. Let's just set up a bit more. We will pay 2 to play another Strike Gundam.
Yep.
Just a 3 for vanilla. And then let's pay 4 to bring out Unicorn Gundam Unicorn Mode. 4-3 has ability during pair, but unfortunately I don't have the pilot to go with it. So I will just pass from here.
Alrighty. I will untap, draw a turn, and draw a resource, which puts me up to 8. Then I'll start by playing an Overflowing Affection. Very good card to draw here. Draw 2 cards. And then I will discard. There's my Maganac. I will discard Throw Apart. I will start by swinging at one of your shields, Colin.
I think I will take this opportunity to block with my 4-4.
All right. So we'll compare 4-4 to 4-4. So they'll just trade. The one dude off of Colin's table, which is fine by me. I will play this Zaku and this Maganac for a total of 3 resources. And then with 2 cards left in my hand, I will pass back.
Okay. Let's restand all the resources again. Draw. Gain 1. Ooh, perfect. I found another Overflowing Affection, so play that.
Very
Draw
nice draws
2.
for both of us.
And we'll ditch this card.
All right.
Let's pay 1 to put out a base, side 7. So on deploy, we'll draw my life. Then once per turn, I can rest it to recover an HP on one of my units, but it's not necessary at the moment. And then I'm gonna pay 1. It's off my side 7. I'm very, very lucky. I found the Banisher links for my Unicorn mode.
Ooh.
Okay, so when paired, if it's a link unit, which Unicorn does specify Banisher, I can draw 1 card thanks to my pilot. And then it's +2/+2, so it is a 6/5, so very huge. So
Very
I
big.
will swing into your base.
All right. My base will be destroyed.
And I will swing with my Strike Gundam into base.
All right. I will take the damage to my shield, and it is not a burst. It will go to my yard.
All right, and then lastly, I will follow up with paying 3 for the Gundam MA form. So it's a
Alrighty.
4-3 at the moment. And I will just pass turn from there.
I'll untap my resources, draw a card, and draw a resource. And I will have to try and get through this. So we'll start by swinging the Zaku into the unicorn mode.
Okay. Action step, I have no responses. Okay.
So my dude will deal 3 damage to Collins and then take 6 damage back and be destroyed.
So it's 2 health remaining.
I will swing the Rick Dom into Collins unicorn mode.
Yep. So they will trade, assuming no actions.
Yep. I also have no actions, and since it has breach 2, it'll deal 2 damage to Collins side 7.
Okay.
And then I will put Duel Jatark on the Maganac, so that is now a 4-3.
Mhm.
And then I will swing it into the Strike Gundam.
Trade with the 3-4. Yep.
Yep. And then I will play the Wing Gundam for 2, and I will pass to Colin, 1 card left in my hand.
Okay. So let's ready all my resources. Draw for turn. Gain 1. We'll swing with Gundam MA form into shields.
All right, I'll flip over, and it is a burst. It is a base, so it will come into play. And similar to most Bandai games, you just do as much as possible. I do not have a shield to draw, but I will look at the top 2 cards of my deck and then put 1 on top and 1 on bottom. I will put this on top and this on bottom.
Okay. And then I will play my Strike Dagger
Yep.
and my G Fighter,
Very solid play.
and I'll pass turn.
All right, I will draw this card and then gain my 10th and final resource of the game. I will swing the Wing Gundam into the Gundam MA.
Yep, so they will trade.
And then I will play the Shenhuang Gundam, and I will pass.
Okay, let's see. In my last resource. Okay, let's swing with my G Fighter into the base.
It will take 3 damage.
Then I'll swing with Strike Dagger into the base to blow it up.
It will be destroyed.
And let's finish off with a bang. I'm going to pay 3
Oh,
for the RX-78-2, the original Gundam.
The Gundam.
And then I'm going to put on Amuro Ray, his pilot.
Oh no!
So when paired, choose a 5 or less HP unit and rest it. And most importantly, because it's Amuro onto the RX-78, has Rush. So I will attack, end the game.
I will be defeated. GG.